Have you ever imagined receiving a $5,000 check simply because the government uncovered billions in wasted spending? That's the bold promise behind the so-called Doge Refund proposal. Recently, Elon Musk floated the idea that every American taxpayer could get a one-time payout of $5,000 entirely funded by eliminating government inefficiencies. Although Doge might bring to mind Dogecoin or meme culture, here it stands for the Proposed Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. Get ready to explore a proposal stirring debates, raising eyebrows, and challenging our understanding of fiscal responsibility. The birth of the $5,000 Doge Refund. What if you opened your mailbox tomorrow and found a $5,000 check labeled Doge Dividend? The idea first exploded into public consciousness via a viral post on X, formerly Twitter. A user speculated that if the government could cut its wasteful spending, the recovered funds should be returned to American taxpayers. The post suggested that a coalition possibly including figures like former President Trump and Elon Musk could announce a policy redistributing savings as a dividend. Though the notion began as playful speculation, it quickly ignited widespread discussion across social media, crypto blogs, and news outlets. While some view it as a clever strategy to reclaim taxpayer money, others point to immense logistical hurdles. Could enough found money really be amassed to fund such a massive one-time payout? Understanding the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, could billions, if not trillions of dollars, be hidden in the dark corners of federal budgets? At the heart of the proposal lies the Department of Government Efficiency, affectionately known as DOGE. In this context, DOGE represents a hypothetical governmental body dedicated to slashing fraud, canceling redundant projects, and trimming bloated agency budgets. Proponents argue that by systematically identifying inefficient spending across federal programs, DOGE could potentially uncover tens of billions, or even aim for savings as high as $2 trillion over several years. If 20% of those recovered funds were redirected to taxpayers, it might generate a pool of around $400 billion for one-time refunds. Yet, critics caution that converting these inefficiencies into liquid funds without jeopardizing essential services is far from straightforward. The mechanics: who would get the money and how much? Is it realistic for every taxpayer to receive a $5,000 windfall? Breaking down the proposal, supporters envision that DOGE could recover around $2 trillion in waste. From this, 20%, or roughly $400 billion, would be returned to taxpayers, theoretically yielding about $5,000 per household if distributed among 78 million tax-paying households. However, some suggest that every American citizen should receive a check, which would drastically increase the total cost, potentially requiring funds in excess of $1.7 trillion. An alternative is to limit payouts to only those who file taxes, around 155 million individuals, a slightly more feasible but still massive undertaking. The plan's viability hinges on the government's ability to consistently achieve these savings while navigating shifting political landscapes and fiscal priorities, inflation fears, and the legacy of stimulus checks. Remember the post-pandemic inflation surge? Could a $5,000 refund reignite similar pressures? A major concern with any large-scale payout is its potential to trigger inflation. When households suddenly have extra cash, consumer spending can spike, leading to increased demand that outpaces supply. The stimulus checks during the pandemic, for instance, contributed to an inflationary surge the highest in decades. Critics worry that even if the Doge refund is funded by reallocating existing funds rather than new borrowing, a sudden boost in purchasing power might lead to price hikes. While some argue that using pre-existing savings could mitigate these effects, there remains no consensus on whether the net impact on inflation would be negligible or significant. Political hurdles and the road to approval. Could Elon Musk and former President Trump overcome political gridlock to push this plan? Elon Musk, despite his prominence as a tech visionary, is not an elected official. He can advocate for change and influence public opinion. But any proposal of this magnitude would require presidential approval or an act of Congress. With today's deeply polarized political climate, even widely appealing ideas like cutting government waste face intense partisan debates. Both Republicans and Democrats claim to support reducing inefficiency, yet they often clash on what qualifies as waste. Additionally, entrenched bureaucratic inertia, lobbying pressures, and shifting political priorities make the passage of such a policy a monumental challenge. Public opinion, hype versus skepticism. Are Americans truly excited about a $5,000 windfall, or is it just another political gimmick? Public reaction to the Doge Refund proposal has been mixed. Many citizens are captivated by the idea of reclaiming money they believe is rightfully theirs, especially amid ongoing concerns over government waste. Social media is abuzz with memes, debates, and impassioned discussions, with some hailing the plan as a breakthrough in fiscal responsibility. However, skeptics remain unconvinced, arguing that the proposal is overly optimistic and fraught with economic and logistical pitfalls. The mention of Elon Musk's name often polarizes opinions further, with supporters lauding his innovative approach and detractors dismissing the idea as unrealistic hype. The if factor. Could this really become a reality? Is there a hidden plan underway? Or will the Doge dividend remain a viral headline? While the idea of a $5,000 refund is tantalizing, turning it into policy is another matter entirely. For the proposal to materialize, the government would need to formally adopt the DOGE framework, secure bipartisan support in Congress, mitigate potential inflation, and effectively manage public expectations. As of now, there is no official legislation or White House directive confirming the plan. Elon Musk's influence, though significant, cannot unilaterally make it a reality. The transformation of this viral idea into a concrete policy could take months or even years, and remains uncertain amidst the complexities of federal budgeting and political negotiation. Expert insights. What economists and analysts say. What do the experts think? Could this be a fiscal miracle or an economic misstep? Numerous economists and policy analysts have weighed in on the Doge refund proposal, offering a spectrum of opinions. Some experts see potential in the idea, arguing that redirecting funds from wasteful spending to taxpayers could stimulate consumer spending without necessarily causing runaway inflation, provided that the savings are real and accurately measured. Others, however, remain cautious, pointing to historical precedents where large-scale stimulus measures have led to unintended inflationary pressures. The expert consensus remains divided, with many stressing that while the concept is intriguing, its practical implementation is riddled with uncertainties and risks. Policy implications, charting a path forward. Could this proposal set a new standard for fiscal accountability, or is it destined to remain a controversial concept? The potential adoption of the Doge refund proposal raises important questions about the future of government spending and fiscal policy. If successful, it could signal a paradigm shift demonstrating that cutting wasteful expenditures not only improves government efficiency, but also directly benefits taxpayers. This would challenge the current narrative that additional government spending is necessary to boost the economy. On the other hand, the policy's complexity and potential economic risks mean that it might also serve as a cautionary tale of how difficult it is to translate efficiency savings into direct financial relief for the public. Ultimately, the proposal forces policymakers to consider innovative ways to address government waste while safeguarding economic stability. Looking ahead, potential outcomes and final thoughts. Could a one-time check reshape our economic future, or will it become another headline in political debates? If implemented, the Doge refund could have profound implications for American households. A $5,000 windfall might provide much-needed relief, helping families manage debt, cover emergencies, or boost local economies through increased spending. Yet, the broader economic impact remains uncertain. A sudden injection of billions of dollars could risk spurring inflation, particularly if supply cannot keep pace with demand. Additionally, the political and logistical challenges of implementing such a policy may mean that, even if the idea gains traction, the final outcome could be a scaled-down version of the original proposal. The future of the Doge refund remains a tantalizing if, a concept that sparks imagination and debate, but one that must overcome significant hurdles before it can become reality. Thank you for joining. If you found our deep dive thought-provoking, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell for more updates. What do you think? Could a $5,000 refund revolutionize government efficiency? Or is it just a fleeting headline? Share your thoughts in the